I am so tired, guys. Okay, so what I missed on explaining to you was that I ended up converting, I ended up kit bashing a bit here. So this is like the Lord that comes with the Annihilation Barge, but I ended up swapping out the head. So he's got a more regal head to go with it. I'll be using him as a Lord in a lot of my armies. I could have probably put him on a bigger base, like one of these ones, and then bought another one for my Scarabs later. And then made him a, you know, an Overlord. You know what? I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Just going to go ahead and find a way to chip him off. There we go. Tumble down, my friend. Tumble down. Okay. We're going to give him a bigger base so that way he can be an Overlord. Boom. And try to squish him down so his feet work better. Okay, there we go. Now he's on a bigger base. He can be a proper Overlord. It's a little big for him, but if you're going to have a thing for like a big tournament or something like that, you need to have the proper size base. So now he's got the proper size base, and I can make him a Lord if I need to in a pinch. Because bigger bases, they don't bother people for the most part. Cool. So he's done. Believe it or not, he's toast. This guy... trying to determine how are we going to do this. Because I really want his staff to be aimed like this. The problem there is that I don't want it to interfere with his back at all. Okay, so let's cut out the back part. We're not gluing this part on yet, though. Okay, I got an idea. Okay, the reason why I'm kind of breathing a bit right now is because it involves being brave. Okay, if you can't tell what I'm doing right now, because the camera's too freaking low. We're back to belly cam now, folks. What I'm trying to do is line up his arm in such a way that the staff doesn't interfere with anything behind him. Because the way the model is meant to work, he's meant to have his staff like pointing up and down. We're not doing that. We're completely going from this pose to this pose. And that involves changing around some elbows. The elbows on Necrons are very pronounced, too. We can't mess with this arm. We have to mess with this one. So how are we going to mess with this one in such a way that it works? So what we need to do is carve the space out for that arm to work. To do that, you need to effectively put it in at an angle. Which means that we're going to cut out this chunk here. First cut. It's the one that cuts the deepest. Now just don't get over enthusiastic about shaving and cutting, because otherwise we're going to have a serious issue. Okay, remember when I was talking about putty earlier? Here's where it's useful. Some of this white tack here. Stuff it on the arm. Welcome to this review for Moonlighter. Okay. We're effectively measuring twice and cutting once. Creating a space within which the elbow of the offending arm can be placed. Very carefully carving out a widget. Just a little wedge area where everything can fit. Now, if it's a little rough, that's okay, it's plastic. With the adhesion of plastic glue, it'll actually form a pretty strong bond, I hope. That's almost too distinct. We need to cut deeper. Okay, cut into it now. It's distinctive enough at the front, but not at the back. Okay. Now, a lot of this work cannot be undone. There is no undo. So take your time. I think we got it. Let's go ahead and glue it. Because it's plastic glue, it should smooth out some parts. Fuck. Okay. Sorry for swearing. And just... There we go. Just gluing on arms. So, this guy's right arm, extremely fragile. His wrist, the staff, and his elbow. Like 3 very weak joints. Held together using glue and hope. Not where you want to be. But sometimes, where you want to be and where you have to be are 2 very different things. So we're going to wait here. We're going to hold it in place while it cures. Baby, I know. You will be my Emotech. But you will not be called Emotech. No, sir. You're gonna have a name of your own because you're from my thing. This scythe looks so edgy. This is a Staff of Light. Or in this case, because it is Emonek the Stormlord, it is the Staff of the Destroyer. It's a pretty sick stick, actually, if I might be so bold. Curing. It takes so long. When you don't want it to take a long time, it takes the longest amount of time. We got it. We got it. We got it. It's staying. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, now we just get to hold it and balance it. Make sure nothing bad happens to it. No jump scares. If you want an edgy scythe, this is the edgiest scythe there is. This guy's done. He can go over here. I'm actually going to add some rocks to his base to give him something to... Like, to give something to look at on his base, because this is a pretty big expanse for very little that's going on there. Nope, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Now, still curing. Might as well take back and sip his coffee. How's everyone doing today? Now they've had several small heart attacks in the course of 30 seconds. Hope everyone's having a good day. Where'd all the extra pieces go? I thought I had more bits. Good day. No heart attacks on my end. Oh, that's good. So if I've got him doing like this, That could be pretty cool looking. The question remains, though. Where did I put the rest of the bits? Are they, like, underneath here or something? Did I miss a... Yep, the bit I was looking for was underneath the gigantic thing here. Is it Tim Hortons coffee? Nope. Made it at home. Starbucks grounds, but I made it. Okay. Now for this part. So this part requires... a lot less, I think. Where is the... There it is. Now, oof. Can't believe that Tim Hortons now belongs to Burger King. Yeah, I mean, money. This is why corporations aren't your friends. You don't stake your identity on any corporations, and you have a good day. Instead, you do the stuff that you like, and when you don't like it anymore, you move on. Okay, so in order to make this conversion / kit bash portion work, take a look. Again, it is just at the wrist. So we're going to go ahead. You know, this is ironic because in the lore, this character likes to chop off hands a lot. And here we are, chopping off hands to make him. What a time to be alive. That didn't feel good. That was just okay. Just. I was a little unclean in that one. It's not so good. It's not where we want to be. I'm going to go ahead and use the fact that plastic is bendy to bend it to my advantage a bit here. Okay, good. Now, the other thing we're going to have to do is actually make this look like a gauntlet and less like a sword. Ready? It's the strongest knife I own. It's not able to cut it. Okay. It's all lined up. Where it needs to be. Don't even look. Just do it. 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 Fudge. Well, the good news is that we've got more swords. Bring out the next one. So, if we learn anything from that, look at the thing when you're cutting it. But now this is not very helpful to anyone anymore. Although I wonder, where did the fin go that I just cut off? Because if that went anywhere, that could still be a very helpful piece. You'd be surprised. So this time when we try it, tiny length by tiny length, I would agree that that makes a good chunk of sense. So... okay, I can clean that. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, you know what? With that cut, maybe I can just do this instead. There we go. Okay. Do that a second time. Beautiful. This is why you need sharp knives, folks, because otherwise this shit's impossible. Okay. Now, that's not the only thing that we're doing here. To make this a proper gauntlet of the conflagrator, we're going to attach an orb to the end that looks badass. The only problem being is that the badass orb is attached to a hand. We don't want it attached to a hand. Would be safer for better cuts. Good to know in the future. Wait, hold on. There may be another option. That would look pretty cool. It's just... I think I got the material to make that one work. What about this? It sort of works. Not really. How about you? So here's one of the fins we cut off. Extra armor plating! Yeah, I do think that the orb is the best move here. Okay. Don't want to be a backseat viewer or anything? Oh, good to know. I really like the idea of using this orb, though. It would look really cool. It's just, it's so small. Okay. So what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and take this, like this, and just gently file away the hand that I've got on there. Step by step by step by step by step. Go. We are creating a masterpiece at the cost of one Necron Overlord's hand. This is a piece of plastic that is not worth a whole ton of money, but from the perspective of someone who's bought this miniature before, it's enough money to make past me maybe, like, cry a little bit on the inside. How could you? Okay, at this point, we're going to make something very unsafe here. Never do this. Never, ever do what I'm doing currently. I'm doing it partially out of desperation, and partially out of haste. But I'm currently doing this with my thumb at the moment. Yeah, well, it's got 2 hours before my work shift starts. Okay. That was scary. I don't like this idea anymore. Okay, new idea. Be safe instead. Cut away piece by piece. And attempt to make this as smooth an orb as we possibly can make it. Bad news is that the more we succeed at this idea, the harder it becomes to continue to succeed at this idea. You're nuts? Yeah, I'm insane. And very unsafe. Do not do what I was doing at home. This, what I'm currently doing, is totally safe. This is like cutting a tiny onion. This is fine. As long as you use proper protocol and you're safe about it, and you cut straight down with a sharp enough knife, no chance of hurting yourself, really. You cutting away from yourself. This is easy. If you've been in the kitchen for 20 minutes, this is easy. Okay, let's take a look at it now. It's a little choppy, but you know what? There's a lot less hand than there used to be. Please. Please. I beg of you. I know you're a sphere, but this is killing me. Fuck. Okay. I think that's about as far as we can get now. Oh, it's not working. We need to file this down some more. So, filing it down we shall do. As for your ridiculous head. Alright. I definitely want you looking a different way than the other Overlord is. So. That is a suitably sick looking pose. I'm down with it. Either that. No, that's where his foot is looking, so you know that's okay. Maybe tilt his head a bit. Okay, looks good by me. Gauntlet. Let's just attach it at this point to the rest of the arm. Yeah, that works. At this point, I'm just adding the arms. I'm doing something a little easier to make myself feel a little bit better. Okay, you still need to be inside there, so like don't move from there. Okay, and the orb is, after not looking at it for a bit, quite choppy in certain places. Still requires a little bit of work. A little bit of back and forth filing. It's okay, it's not like I've been working at this for 2 hours or anything. Oof. Just a little bit of filing. Go. We have masterpieces coming in right now, I believe. Now, mind you, I'm also filing down my thumb, but, like, you know, it's fine. It's only a little painful. Fuck. It keeps slipping! Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Okay. Keep on filing. Yeah, just like that. File that part down a little. Yes, that's the shit. Only filing the thumb. No biggie, exactly. Like, what do you need a thumb for anyway? It's not like it's the most important digit on the hand or anything. Okay. Now working on these bits. Just working on rounding off the edges right now. Doing little small circles like this, see? To create as smooth a surface as I can. Ah, bonjour ami, qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Tu peux m'ouvrir ça?
Oui, je peux essayer. Voilà.
Merci.
Y a pas de quoi, ami. Okay, that's still curing there. So I'm going to let that continue to do its thing. Oh. Do a big stretch! Show some armpit hair, it's fine. Show off your belly, it's all good. Let's put this back. Now, this lord is done. While we're waiting for this lord to do some curing of his own, before we make him a gauntlet, fit for a ruler, we're going to go and add some rocks to the other one. So I have here like a little jar of over-expensive plaster. Probably make this like 50 cents. Or by going and like picking rocks out of your favorite garden and washing them off. But these are just nice flat rocks. You can kind of put anywhere to add some texture to a base. Now I don't want all of this. Like these big pieces are too large. What I want are the interestingly textured pieces at the bottom. They're small and fine. There we go. Okay. Then I need a super glue. Let's hope it hasn't dried up in the meantime. Because it landed on my headphones. I hope they're okay. They sound fine. Oh, that was not good. My case over here that you guys can't see just shut down on my earphones like coonch. I was like, no, please, no. I worked hard to have those. Okay, you still curing? Yep, you're still curing. So, for his base, grab the super glue. It's not promising. Okay, I like this piece the most. It's still there. Now, this is some serious concrete cement, so we gotta be, like, careful with it. Yep, it's already stuck. That's the good shit, is what I'm saying. Go. And it's stuck. So now this guy has some interesting textures on his base, which actually helps to fill it up quite a lot more, which I'm pleased about, to say the least. The rest of these, I think I will use maybe another time. But that'll do for him. He's done. You. You're gonna look a lot cooler when everything's done. Okay, if something like this, you're gonna want to do like this with the other arm, I think, if you're being like a ruler. So. Pull it apart a minute. Heading off? Alright. Take it easy, OG Gaming. I'm glad that I entertained you with all this. Hopefully everyone else is entertained as well. No, you were fine where you were. Don't fall off. I realize I ripped you off, and now we need to have you re-cure, which is not something that plastic glue does super well, because after the chemical reactions happened once, it doesn't like to happen a second time. But still, my dude. Snooze. Oh, well, now his arm's just in all the wrong places. Hide it. My dude, I know you are a robot. That is no reason to do the robot. I feel like I kind of massacred this model a little. Oh well! Now I've put the ball that we filed into the gauntlet. The idea is that this is where it focuses or refracts the power of the gauntlet into a crystal is the idea. Okay. The other option I'm coming to realize might have been better. Would be two. Hopefully this doesn't create mustard gas or something by accident. You know what? Let's let this stay as is for now. This poor thing is having just a hard time existing, I think. Oh, got some glue on my fingers. And not the fun kind. I think we're going to leave this as is for now. We're not going to finish this today. At least not right now. Okay. I have all kinds of thoughts about how all this should be kind of done now. And like, some parts of this model have turned out pretty great. I think in particular, I'm proud of just the really simple conversion of taking the other Overlord's head type and putting it on this guy. Like, this guy looks pretty radical as a result. Like, this is a solid Overlord. I can now be happy that I've got a guy that looks like he has a staff of light if I need it. And just be like, boom, staff of light. He shoots now. I also now have a guy that's like, I got a void scythe. Or a war scythe. Depends. But this guy... that arm's gonna have to cure a lot longer. And we don't really get to see how it looks, how he's gonna look like entirely until after I've painted his back a bit more and his cloak and stuff. Speaking of his cloak and stuff, let's go ahead and put that together while we're waiting for him to cure. Okay. Good, 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 good. Good. I know it was quiet for a little while there. I was just kind of stuck in my own head. Like, you end up thinking a lot when you're building models like this, and you're just like, man, I don't know what to do. And we are going so far off the beaten path as far as manuals are concerned right now that there's no way we're going back. Like, we can't go back. There's nothing in the manuals about what we've done to our miniatures here today. This is where creativity and good problem solving are going to come in. Okay, and then we need the other part of the cape. I'm thinking to glue the two parts of the cape together, I think I'm going to use super glue. Like regular super glue, not plastic glue. Because I'm worried it'll fudge up the details. If I use plastic glue, because it melts things, right? So it's not so good at maintaining details. Oh, I know. I'm snoozing you again. Eat it. Forget though, how does this go on again? Yeah, I was pretty sure it was something like that. Okay. Go ahead. Super glue. Don't surprise me now. You know I hate jump scares. Okay. Well, you jump scared me again, Super Glue. I hate you for it, but back in you go. There we go. Then all we have to do is attach that to the backs. Like that, right. Okay, let's clean off this piece. Slicey, slicey. Hey, sweet cat. I've always wanted to play games like D&D and Warhammer, but none of my friends are into it. Well, I'll tell you what. My friends are the same, more or less, wavelength. I've had to aggressively go out and look for new people that I never thought I'd ever meet in order to play any of this with them. The main thing, though, for me, is that I enjoy this process. As much as it can be stressful to be like, oh, I'm gonna ruin the model, and all this other stuff, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy this a lot. The whole process. The converting, the kit bashing, the painting, the posing, the troops, which is what hopefully we'll be on next time. And hopefully next time I'm streaming, we get to building the troops. Okay. Okay, I'm having a hard time figuring out how these two things fit right now. I'm missing something. Okay, because if this is supposed to go here, and this physically attaches to the cape. Yeah, this attaches to both. Fuck it, we're building the whole thing today. I'll figure out how to paint it another time. Okay, so this is how he looks like, with the cape and everything included. It's not bad. I love creating characters and backstories as well. All my Necrons, my Grey Knights, they all have something. This part's still curing, because of course it is. How are you so wibbly? I'm mad. Hold on. You are the head of a tomb world. You do not get to be wibbly. One thing that helped was being able to play the game, though. Like the Grey Knight. Oh, God, my belly. The Grey Knights that I have went through a whole campaign. Now, as a result of that, they have this backstory. They have like a whole series of missions that they undertook. Squad Lygaea has personalities and all this other stuff going on for them. It's really sweet. You know what? Take off the cape. I've now seen how it looks. And that's great, but I am going to paint this normally. And as a result of that, I've got a lot of love for my Grey Knights. Like, just so much. Little wisps of melted plastic floating around in the wind. No big deal. Okay, at least the staff part of the conversion turned out okay. There we go. They'll have to do. As for the Necrons, they haven't actually had a campaign to go through yet. I've just had to come up with their backstory through just repeated drafts of ideas and all this other stuff, and just kind of figuring out who's who and what do they do and all that other stuff. And the idea of a mobile tomb world and everything kind of showed up. I was like, oh, that could be cool. They could be like nomads. And then as a result, like a new idea for like how to model their flayed ones popped up. And I was like, oh, this is a sick idea. And then, I mean, here we are. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this gauntlet part, though. Like, I could clip off that part. So it's just like a flat surface. And then add on... I don't know, this part, maybe? It's not a terrible idea, but it would require some green stuff. Do I still have my green stuff lying around? Like, I know I was supposed to have thrown it out, but... Oh no, there it is! You know what? It's dried up. It's largely useless. But who knows? I wasn't expecting to have to do this, but oh boy, here goes. So what I've just done is I've taken 2 pieces of like epoxy resin, like 2 like putties, and when mixed together, like thoroughly, they create a green putty. This is what we call green stuff, and you can do crazy stuff with green stuff. You can carve anything out of green stuff if you know what you're doing. You can sculpt whatever. It's used to create really good plastic miniatures, or you know, really garbage ones depending on how strong you are at this stuff. But it's gonna get sticky in a second, so okay, it's starting to get real sticky now. Okay, so now that it's sticky, it's green, it's mean, it's here, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna rinse out this cup and I'm gonna fill it with water, because we're gonna need water to work with this stuff. Be right back. Now I have 0 sculpting tools, so it's going to make this particularly difficult and annoying. But that doesn't mean you can't come up with some makeshift ones. Except on something I have here a nail that used to be stuck in my wall. I can use that to pull and stretch and poke around in the parts that I need to, where my fingers can't quite fit. And as long as I keep it coated with water and everything, it should be fine. Are you on my... This is my good blanket, chair. How dare you? Moving the blanket. Okay. There's an N missing on the mug. That took me a minute. Okay. Nice and wet. Okay, so how are we going to do this? going to start by taking a small piece of it. I feel like... Now, people would recommend... Some professionals would recommend that you wait 30 minutes before working with the stuff, so that way it's like, you know, all working. But tweezers? Yeah, absolutely, tweezers would work. Just gonna go ahead and continue to whoosh it around. Okay, we got ourselves a little orb. It fits perfectly. Okay, let's make another little orb. And this one, I'm going to cut in half. Sadness, it didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Off the blade you go. Never mind. Remake it into another orb. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a half orb on either side of the gauntlet. Uh-oh. No, do not harden underneath my fingernail. It'll take 17 years for that to get out of there. Okay. Like I said, this stuff sticks. But it takes like a full day and a half to 2 days to cure. Like, if you're sculpting with green stuff, take your time and be patient. There we go, just patting it into place. And taking the other one. Nope. It's gone now. It is now somewhere else forever. And I have no idea where. It's gonna harden into a plastic ball. I'm gonna hate it when I step on it. FML. Let's just another quick look. No ants for you. Goodbye. No, I say goodbye. Get squished. You don't want to have a plastic ball in your pants the rest of your life. But oh well, such is life. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pinch off another part of this green stuff. Again, if it starts getting a bit sticky, wet surfaces. It's not like it's allergic to it, but it certainly doesn't mind. It likes being on a wet surface better than on a dry surface, because the instant it goes on a dry surface, it wants to die and stay there and not do anything forever. Whereas this is like, yeah, let's go. Yeah, there we go, hold on. No, you're too big. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and remove that part then. Just take off a chunk of the green stuff. Put the rest back into this little bit here, and put it back on a wet surface to rest so that way it doesn't dry out. And continue to roll this up into a little ball. Little circular motions will do the trick. Okay, there we go. We must be getting close to something that works. Bad green stuff. Be snoozed. Yeah, that'll do for now. It's not perfect. I'm no sculptor, but I'll take it for now. Can always go back and improve on things later. Does that look good? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. We're getting out the super glue again. We're not done, but we're close. Where did I put it? There it is. I can hear it calling in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. If you like my rendition of In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, you should hear how I sing everything else in my life. Okay. Just going to go ahead and put this on now. It's a little delicate, to say the least. And again, in hindsight, I'm not sure if that works. Never mind. You know what? Sometimes simplicity is how everything goes. Sometimes simplicity is what you need. And this, plus his little arm now, should do the trick. Especially if I'm painting them the way that I want to paint them. They'll be painted like orbs, which is lovely. I'm going to paint all these things separately. So these are separate. This is separate. This is separate. Lots of separate pieces and parts going on here, which is not ideal. I've never really done separate assembly like this before, but hey, it's a thing. And now I've got a scythe just lying around in case if I ever need to do something involving a scythe. And an orb. It's a ball, I guess. This sprue's done. Into the empty sprue pile. It refused. You know what? That's me rolling a 1. Watch me roll a 20. Call it. Let's see. How much time have I got? So much time. Okay. Do I want to try start making a flayed 1 prototype? I think the answer is yes. So, while you're curing and doing your thing, I'm eventually going to spray paint the shit out of all of you. Let's make a flayed 1 prototype. And then, I don't know. We'll see if we can make some other stuff to go with it. So for my flayed 1 prototype idea, I decided to use a bunch of extra bits that I picked up. Unknowingly, I thought that I was going to be able to build 1,000,000 Immortals. Unfortunately, the opposite happened. I built 0. The reason why is because they took all the chest pieces and all the heads out of the freaking box and gave everything back. Just, oh. Hey, Burgles. Okay, so I'm going to need 1 of those bases. Where are the... Are they in here? They might be in here. I put them in here. So we're going to make some flayed ones today. Grab a base. Check. The only pairs of legs you have access to? Here. Grab a pair of legs. Now, normally this is what you'd use to make Necron warriors. But today, that's not the case. Because my tomb world is nomadic. As in, it's a movable thing. They've had to rely on sneakier methods of warfare more often than not. They rely on a very strong core of death marks. And on their assassin core, which I'm going to be using as flayed ones. Alright, take it easy, sweetie cat. Have a good one. And these assassins are able to pop up out of nowhere and do their thing. You know, they're terrifying. It's terror tactics at its greatest. And then when the death marks make a, you know, point out a mark, the rest of the army can go ahead and take it out instantaneously. They're a very well-trained machine on that front. So what I'm going to do is create a whole lot of flayed ones. 10. That's all I'll ever need, really. Out of these Necron warriors and some Deathmark bits that I have lying around. Because no one seems to like Deathmarks, despite the fact that they are probably one of the coolest Necron units out there in terms of their looks. Okay. Legs. Check. Now, to really make this idea sing, there's going to need to be some serious clipping going on. Alright, because you're, like, physically attached over here. Ah, that's lame. Oh, we have so many extra bits that, like, if I make mistakes here while I'm building, it's not a big deal. Poof, poof, poof. Yeah, the rest is hurt a little bit, but who cares? At this point, we have to be brave. We have to start okay with making a mistake and seeing if we can turn it into something useful. If I don't, we're gonna have a bad time. Okay. Go ahead and start doing some chopping. Hey Max, how's it going? Brave boy mode engaged. Woof woof, let's go. Come on, chop it. There we go. Okay. Chop. Chop. Oof. To all the people whose artwork I'm currently mangling, I am legitimately a little sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that. Now I got myself a sweet harpoon gun. Let's change that. Chop that off. Snooze it one more time. Okay. Again, when using your knife, cutting away is the best thing you could possibly do for your own safety. Now, this prototype didn't work. Hey, that wolf, what's up? I made this overlord with a staff of light. I made the Farron of my Tomb World, complete with a little bit of green stuff work on his gauntlet there. I still haven't put together his cape or his back because I need to paint his back and his cape and everything, all that stuff, separately in order to keep him looking good. But I think that we can say that that particular prototype there for our first flayed one is not going to work on its own. Let's cut off the gun entirely. Those other figures I finished while you were gone. I also did the tank, but I thought you already knew about the tank. Okay, we're gonna just start clipping off some of these details. Filing them down, I guess. Cut away, never get flayed, cut towards, earn a Darwin Award. There you go. I like that. That's a good rhyme there, Wolf. Maybe you should be the rapper. Oh. Okay. Look, I know my fingers aren't great. This is getting ridiculous. The problem is that this is just mangled. His arm is good, but okay, whatever. Let's back off for a second. Let's find... Oh, dude, from here on out, we're using the extra Gauss blasters we got going on. There we go, there's some backs. Inside, this should be all the necks. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, whoever had these bits and pieces last was in absolutely no rush to try and make this easier for whoever bought these stupid things. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well, whatever. They're my pieces now. I'll make use of them. It's all gonna be for flayed ones anyway, so it's not a big deal. Good shit. Probably should have been more thorough while cleaning out the model, I guess. Okay, now, I know there's 1,032 different Deathmark heads in here. Show me one. Like, I've got all the guns. I just need some heads. Just so you know, yeah, this is an obscene number of bits. Now, there's no front of chest, so everything can go back inside for a half second. Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. Like, there's knives right here. They're right at the end of the guns. Chippy Choppa. Jesus, I don't want to think about how much those bits and bobs made of plastic cost him. Neither do I. But his loss, my gain. Okay, let's chop off this little black bit here. Add some glue. I just want to get a prototype done before I have to go to work. Just due to the shape of the blade, I'm very tempted to give this one a pirate head. Maybe one day I'll make pirate Necrons again. And just be like, yar. This one here be a pirate. A pirate lord! You know that would be sweet. Can't wait to see you paint these. What color are you thinking so far? Like that. Green, beige, blue for the energy bits. Ceramic looking, actually. When you see them in person, like, you can see the shine of the lights off of the parts that I like glossed and everything. It's really nice. Shh, 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 shh. I have another hour. I can get there in 25 minutes. Okay, so with that part, what we need to start doing is figuring out. There we go. Do these two blue. A little bit of filing work, they just might. Just hold off that here for a second. No, this is the best way to do it. Just left bot sheet keyboard. It died for good. Oh no! RP! That sucks. Still, hopefully the new keyboard lasts a bit longer. Long live the keyboard. I could be irrevocably fucking up a bunch of Necron warriors this way, but the idea was that I do that. Again, gotta be brave. Otherwise we're not gonna get anything done. Cock and balls. Okay. The other option is to use all the parts in the actual kit. And you know what? It's not a terrible option. Let's see how it looks. It would simplify things greatly. Let's see. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. I like the idea. Okay, let's do that instead. It's easier. It's quicker. And maybe, you know what? I could work this into the story of it. You know? The death marks are like the high-ranking assassins. The assassins that had to go in and use a sword, low-ranking. They hadn't yet earned their stripes to carry a synaptic disintegrator at the time. Now this is what you call a kit bash, by the way. Because you're smashing things together. And it's a conversion, because I'm changing Necron warriors into flayed ones. A completely different unit on the roster. I assume something related to death. So Necrons. In short, imagine the TI-82, like the Terminator robots. Oh, fuck, you don't fit there? Are you kidding? I'm mad. Let's go the other way then. That'll do. That looks really cool, actually. Rule of cool wins. Long story short, it's an army of Terminator robots. The long story long is that once upon a long time ago, the Necron tier were an actual race of living, breathing things. However, they were constantly plagued by a lot of disease and cancer and other bullshit because their son was an asshole. When a race of aliens called the Old Ones made contact with them, it turned out that the Necron tier were very, very jealous because the Old Ones were immortal and knew how to actually keep the Necron tier alive. What the Old Ones just didn't do then was help the Necron tier out. So the Necrons got all mad about... The Necron tier got all mad about that, understandably. And, started, right, it's left arms that are missing as well. They're missing left arms. Is the other thing, if I remember correctly, for all this. Started getting all mad about it, which is like, it makes sense. And, is there another kit that I can borrow from for left arms? I don't think so. As a result, they started a war with the Old Ones. The Old Ones won that war handily, because they could outmaneuver the Necrons big time. The Necrons didn't have access to warping around the galaxy at instant speed. So then the Necrons, you know, almost to the brink of extinction, found something that they called the Catan, or Star Gods, like little beings that feasted on the star that, you know, gave their planet life, in a way. And they were able to somehow communicate with it and bring it down to the planet. When they talked to the people on the planet, the Catan figured out that, you know, hey, we could actually manipulate these suckers. And so they did. They ended up tricking the Necrons into giving up their immortal souls and all that stuff in order to have that immortality that they craved, but in the process it meant that they lost their souls, which is bad. So when they lost their souls, which is, again, good, bad, the Necrontyr became the Necrons that day. And the leader of the Necrontyr, the Silent King is what he was called, I forget his exact name, was all like, well, shit, this is dumb and stupid, and now I feel like an asshat. But in the end, the goal was accomplished. The Necrons, rejuvenated with their immortality, started, going toe-to-toe with the old ones. And the Catan were helping them out. The Catan were scary powerful, too. Capable of leveling entire, systems. Not just a planet, like an entire series of planets. With just a little wave of their hand sort of deal. They were quite seriously godlike in their power and ability. But, over time, this war escalated and escalated, and the old ones kept on trying to make new forms of life that could help them to defeat the Necrons and the Catan, but, eventually they died out. Or at least there are none that we know of that are left in natural space. This is how the Eldar were born, and how the Orcs were born, and how a number of other species were started. Now, that said, the Necrons won that war. But as soon as they won that war, the Catan, the Star Gods, were like, okay, well, now what? And I'm not sure exactly where or how. I think it was one of the Catan, but it could also be one of the Necrons themselves, tricked the Catan into starting to eat themselves. So the Catan started to attack themselves and had wars that snuffed out stars and, reduced certain areas of the galaxy to waste. And then, after enough time, the Silent King... you again. The Silent King enacted a rebellion. And the Necrons fought back against the Catan. And eventually defeated them. Not without cost, though. The Necrons suffered dearly for it. They were almost, wiped out in several spaces, and there's no way that they were going to be able to live in the galaxy for the next little while, because shit had started going crazy. With all the new races in the area that were able to create, warp energy and all that stuff, the warp area, the area known as the warp, started going all turbulent, and some crazy shit started happening in there, and that shit started to bleed out into the, real world, and, long story short, the Necrons were having none of this shit. They were nearly, really exhausted in terms of the resources, because they just fought actual gods and broke them into pieces, so that way they could, not have to deal with them again, Viva la Revolution. And, it's at this point that the Silent King went, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a big long nap. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. We're going to take a big long nap. And after the nap, we'll reconquer the galaxy. And, the other lords were like, okay, this is a good time. This is a good idea. And so everyone went into stasis, except for the Silent King, who, right before the stasis was enacted, removed his I automatically control all of you engrams. So, when the Necrons would awake, they were all actually fairly independent again, which is, good for them, I guess. But, when they did wake up, they're like, oh, wow, the galaxy's still shit, huh? Well, we're gonna go out and conquer it anyway. And, yeah, that's the deal with the Necrons. They wanted to be immortal, they got their wish, but now they don't have souls. So a lot of the Necrons are, busy just trying to capture their old glory, because they're immortal now, they might as well. Whilst the other Necrons are like, you know what? Let's see if we can't at least fix this problem a little bit, actually attempt to find a way to stop all the hiving and the gliving and the, not having a soul. And what happens when our memory banks eventually give out, and we all go insane, nutso mad. That's not good. Dad bod? Yeah, I'm slouching really badly, but then on top of that, it's definitely a dad bod. I'm not even a dad. I just like food. I am a 30-year-old boomer. Okay. So I've got the left arm. Now what do I want to put in the left arm? If I had more hands like this, I'd be like, yeah, let's go, but I do not. Because I figured out a way to give them all a knife, which is, by the way, I think this looks pretty sick as a start. Better to be with a girl that's too good for me. What? Better than being good. Better than being with a girl that's too good for me. What is going on? So I'm thinking. Oh, it could be a thing where they just, like, chopped off their left arm to be like, you know what? All I need is my right arm is to kill people. And, like, that's the... It's like the cult of the... Ooh. There we go. These guys only have a right arm. That's a stupid idea. Okay, I definitely want a left arm involved. But they might not have a hand. Maybe they just cut off their left hand at a certain point. But they're robots! They can just build one! Stupid and dumb. I got an idea. I'll go ahead and start. Like, this is the great thing about sometimes just getting a whole crap ton of extra pieces. You can really go wild with some of the ideas you have and just be like, you know what? Let's do this thing. If I can get these Necron flayed ones built before this, like in the next 2 weeks, and painted, I'll actually have a very competitive Necron roster. For Kill Team, at least. There we go. Well, that left the stratosphere. Okay, we're going to go ahead and very carefully shave off this very tiny piece. There we go. And now he'll have a left fist. Just kind of gripped. Ooh, ooh. But at this point, then, I could add on another blade! I have so many. Do I have 20 is my question. Not sure about that one. Radio silence. Radio silence. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to toot my own horn. This does not happen often. Look at him. And tell me that isn't at least a little badass looking. That's alright. That there is a sick prototype. I'm actually thrilled to pieces that worked. Now, I wish I could add a bit more to him, though. So he looks less like a warrior from behind. Go. Chop that part off. File down. Part's still a little pointy. Perfect. Then Wolf adds a bit of glue. There we go. No, that's not the part I want. What I would love is the bigger back and the hood. But you know what? This will have to do, I think. I think that my expectations are going to have to take a back seat here. This is alright. We use the right and the left hand of pretty much everything we have. And we've got a lot of Gauss blasters in here. Like this part is now more or less done. We could use the left hand. This part we could use the left hand. But we can use the right and the left hand, plus an arm, the bodies, and the legs from the other kit, and that will make a flayed one every time. And these aren't the worst. Like, this is okay. And once it cures, I'll be able to actually, like, do some stuff to it and whatever. But then, the main deal after that will be green stuff. Giving them a cloak. Making them look like, you know, something else. With that said, there's one more conversion we are going to have to do before we continue onward. And this is going to be converting a model that I already have painted. What happened to the on-screen chat? That is a great question. Properties. Great. Okay. I don't know what happened to the on-screen chat. I wish I knew. I'll figure it out. So I have these two guys from before. They are more classic flayed ones. They got blood everywhere and all this other stuff. They're overall really solid build models. I think I might just have to repaint these. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually convert them. But I can convert one of them. Okay, let's see how many blades I've got, though. So I don't want to waste any. There's 2 more flayed ones. 3 more flayed ones. We've got the arms and the hands. That part's covered. Okay, 4. We don't have infinite blades, obviously. 5, 6. 7. Nah, those ones are painted from a long time ago, my dude. Those flayed ones were painted like back in October, November at the very latest. These guys here, I'm going to put back on the shelf. They don't need to be in the construction zone. They might get damaged. Okay, so currently 1, 2. You guys are not scrap, but 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got enough. I'm in a very rare position to say that we actually have more than enough. Oh, there's on-screen chat. It's back now. Maybe I just need to refresh it. If no one looks too closely, that's probably fine. Now, I can put myself through a lot less work, I think, if I just repaint these guys. Instead of being gory, to be covered in like wisps and shadows and stuff. Got a blade there and a blade there easily enough. But just chop off their hands, honestly. It'll make things a lot easier. This is going to hurt me on the inside, by the way. Okay, now I'm going to need to pay attention to that. Look, I do have to go. As much as I want to keep converting and keep working on everything and all that stuff, we've made progress. We've got a special character who's now currently in the process of curing, and he's looking good. Like, things are now starting to stick. I'll be able to spray paint him and start painting him pretty much, like, immediately. Same goes for this guy. and then I'll have like a special character, I'll have a normal character, all that other stuff. We have a blueprint. We have a blueprint, we have a template now for our flayed ones. Awesome. My old flayed ones. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this with them. That'll take some more thinking. As it stands right now, this guy is really good. I'm happy with how this turned out. But for now, it's gonna have to be enough. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know I was a little bit pensive this stream, largely because there's a lot of thinking to do. When you're converting and stuff, you don't want to just rush into it. You want to have some idea of what you want to do first, and then as you realize that those ideas aren't all going to pan out, you have to think carefully about what the next step is going to be. But I think that I did a pretty good job about that. We're only halfway through my plastic glue after all the things I've glued together. That's pretty good. And yeah, we've got the hands, the arms, the blades. We're good to go. I even could make an extra 2 flayed ones and cut out some of these arms and stuff if I just work at these a bit. Entirely possible. Might even be recommended. We'll have to see. But for now, thanks for watching. I gotta go work. Y'all are boss.